Let me start by saying this. I thought USC Upstate was not awed. I thought their kids came in. Dave Dickerson's bunch came in and made some jumpers. Made some jumpers in the first half and found some confidence. And, you know, our defensive effort to start the game, I do not think, and again, this is without watching the film, I do not think it was poor. I think once they hit a few of those, our guys responded the wrong way. It was almost as if they're supposed to miss those shots. And this is supposed to be an easier game. And sometimes, you know, you fall prey to human nature. I think our guys, again, they were ready to play. I thought for the most part, outside of maybe one or two of the threes they hit in the first half, pretty contested. Guys were communicating, and they hit some tough shots. And then we let that affect our mentality until about the 12-minute mark to end the game. And it shows the power of the three-point shot in college basketball, really at any level. But the power of the three-point shot, you can keep you in any game. Fortunately, we were able to find it within ourselves to clamp down, play much stronger, do a better job on the perimeter in the last 12 minutes or so to really gain the separation that we did. But I give all the credit in the world to Coach Dickerson for being able to come off really some butt whippings and be able to come in here and have his kids, his young kids, his freshmen and sophomores ready to play. As I told our team, you know, these games that are on the schedule sometimes are hard to play. They just are. You know, we didn't schedule them. I didn't schedule them. Our coaching staff didn't schedule them. But they were on the schedule. But those games are over, starting with Akron on Sunday.
This was the first time that you guys have trailed in the second half this season. What was your message to your team at that point?
I had a lot of messages, Danielle. I think that the message that I think is the most important message is the one that I told them at the end of the game. And that is the team's going to go through some rough periods of play. They're going to go up against an opponent that isn't in awe, that plays as well as they can for 10 minutes in a stretch. And we're going to be put in some tough moments. To be honest with you, tonight wasn't as tough a moment as we're going to find in the next month or two. But it's good for a team to figure it out.
Were you planning to play Malik and David tonight, or did you do that out of necessity?
No, I was planning on playing them.
Did you like what they brought to the court?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have put them on the floor if I didn't think they could bring something to the court.
What went into the thought process to play David when you did tonight?
I don't know. He's a good player. He's worked really hard to get himself back on the floor. I mean, coaches play good players.
What was Dwayne's impact on the glass?
Incredible. Incredible. Dwayne got recruited by a school like USC Upstate. I asked him in the locker room in front of his teammates, how many Division I offers did you have coming out of high school? He said 3. And it just shows what heart, will, competitive character, and a kick-ass attitude can do for a kid. 15 rebounds. 15. He's not 6'9". He's 6'5". He doesn't look much different than a lot of the kids that were guarding him tonight. He's a warrior. Warrior. We need more of those on our team.
Talk about almost every game, but so consistently he's on the floor 7-8 times tonight. It's just, I don't know what else you can say.
Yeah, the only thing I could say is how come his teammates can't figure it out? I mean, some coaches that are a lot smarter than me have talked about how playing hard is a skill. And it must be. It must be, because nobody else around the country can figure it out like Dwayne. I mean, Dwayne he has it figured out. He airballs a 3. His expression doesn't change. You know, he's not pouting. I mean, he's a warrior.
Darius had 9 assists, no turnovers tonight.
Our point guards did a great job of not letting the eeriness of the game affect their decision-making. They got in the lane, sprayed the ball out. To go 14 assists and 1 turnover.
Chris, what did you see from David and Malik when they were in the game?
Same thing that you saw. I mean, Malik's going to play his tail off. He's going to be a little rusty, but he affects the game. He's got a voice out there, and that's why he was voted a captain. He can do things that Steve can't do defensively. And then the lob that David got, that's no different play that we've run. I mean, Fresh had the same back screen layup in the first half. You saw where David caught it, right? A little different spot than Fresh. His was about a foot over the rim, and Fresh was like 2 feet under the rim.
Chris, we've talked a lot about about David on the floor, but from July until now, what you've seen of his work ethic to get back in a period of time that's a little shorter than what maybe was expected.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen his work ethic a whole lot, because when you get injured, your work ethic is with the trainer behind closed doors. Nobody really cares about watching you do rehab. It's monotonous. I know that. I had 3 ACLs and a knee replacement. I should say that I actually have seen David a lot because I've been in the training room with him. But none of his teammates see, what he puts in. And there's some lonely days when you get injured like that. But he's a competitive kid. He's got very, very high character. He was injured before, earlier in his later grade school freshman year. And so he's used to bouncing back from injury. He was, well coached. He went to a great program. He's a high-character kid and a great player.
Offensively, your shooting numbers are back in the second half. Is that just a reflection of better execution, or not getting down about what happened in the first?
I think it was also a matter of, us getting stops. I think it put us out in transition a lot more. Ryan got free. We ended up, Jordan getting a layup or two. We just got some easier run-outs to up our shooting percentage, but it was more defense to offense, at least from what I can recall.
It seemed when Stephen made that block of what would look like a certain layup that was kind of the thing that really spurred the team. I mean, it led to the run out and Ryan's three-pointer. Was that the kind of play you really kind of needed, defensively, intensity-wise, to really get?
Well, I think we need those plays all throughout the game, but I do think that play got our fans into it. I think fans fall prey to human nature. It's just they look at the schedule and they're like, it's an easy win. And, it's, again, the power of the three-point shot. And so, there wasn't a lot of energy in the building to start. We didn't give the crowd a whole lot to cheer about. That type of play really got them going. I thought our crowd was awesome in the last 10 minutes, but we were a lot better. So it's usually chicken or the egg, and it should start with us. And that type of play, a great weak side awareness out of Steven blocking the shot, I think was a conduit for us playing with a lot of energy in the last 10, 12 minutes.
Anything else for Coach? One more.
I know you said that in the beginning, that they were making jumpers. It wasn't necessarily anything that you guys were doing wrong on defense, but so in the second half when they weren't making as many shots, was that just bad luck on their part, or was there something that you guys were doing that kind of
I thought our
different?
defensive intensity was better. It was better. I thought, you could see it with our ball pressure at times in the first half. It wasn't near what it would be. And I think, there was a time where Jordan was really crawling up into a kid in the second half. I didn't see that in the first half out of many guys. And so I don't want to misrepresent that we were UVA in the first half. We were far from it. But, several of those made shots were at the end of the shot clock. Several of those drives were at the end, and our team has to stiffen as the clock gets less. And I didn't think that we did that. And then when they made a couple of those shots, it took the wind out of our sails, and that's not a good thing. Teams that win championships, teams that put themselves in conversation to be one of the best teams in the country, will not allow the wind to go out of their sails on a few made shots.